Hi, my name's Shania, Shania Austin. This is the electric Epileptic Jeep. All started a few years ago when I had my first seizure and I was diagnosed with epilepsy. A friend of mine made a comment to buy a toy car because I couldn't drive a real car, which is where this whole Jeep came around. Started driving it around, it was quite funny, amused a lot of people, took it to shows, and then thought I'd make something more out of it and spray it purple and put the stickers on it and take it to shows, raise money, take it down Santa Pod drag strip as well. That took me about 9 minutes to do a quarter mile with a push halfway through. But that's how this all came about, because I can't drive a real car at the moment due to epilepsy. It was at Santa Pod in 2016. We were just leaving, there was a Vauxhall show on there, PVS, Performance Vauxhall show. We were just leaving, it was kind of raining, it was gloomy, so everyone started to go. I was in the back of the car at the time, just kind of resting my head and kind of having a snooze, and then obviously that's when the first seizure happened. No one knew what was going on, I'd never had a seizure or anything like that before, so Dad took me out the car, put me on the floor, started, screaming, shouting for help. Loads of people crowded round with umbrellas, making sure I was okay. And kind of a few months after that, I went to Bedford Hospital, which was the closest hospital to me at the time. Had MRI scan, CT scan, EEG scan, which is a scan of the brain, and that all came back a bit fuzzy, I guess you could say. And that's when they diagnosed me, because they could see all the readings in my brain. I was coming up to nearly 2 years seizure free. I had my driving test coming up, so I was obviously learning everything like that. I'd passed my theory, I had my driving test, I was ready to go, ready to roll. It had been such a big step since my last seizure, such a long time, so I was just really excited. I thought, that's it, not going to have another one, absolutely perfect. Then on the 9th of June I had another one. With the seizures that I have, I go completely unconscious, I shake violently, I don't have a trigger of when they're going to happen, I don't know when they're going to happen. So the thought of that when you're driving on the road and main roads, it is frightening, it is scary to kind of think about, and there is that risk that if I do have one, it's not just me I'm going to harm other people, and that's my worry. I'm quite confident that I will be able to stop myself. If I have a bad night's sleep, I won't drive. If I have a bad night's sleep, I'll go to sleep for another couple of hours before I go out and do anything. So this driving is so important to me that I'm going to prevent it from happening as much as I physically can. I've always been a massive fan of cars. My dad works for the RAC and he's really into cars, and we were driving along one day and saw there was kind of a car meet going on, and I was like, oh, let's go down there, let's have a look. And kind of ever since then, that was years ago, that was probably when I was like 10 years old, went to the car show and had a look around, met loads of people looking at different cars, and I was like, oh, that one looks cool, look at the things on that, look at the stickers on that, etc. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So ever since then, I've been going to car meets. I was a mechanic for a little bit, working on cars and everything like that in a garage in Didcot, so that really got me into it as well. Ended up leaving there after a short period of time, and then now I'm a service advisor for Ford and Fiat. So yeah, I still go to car meets. My partner's got a modified vehicle, which is fun and annoying at the same time, but keeps us happy, and it's definitely fun to fiddle around with them and all the attention, good and bad. With this, I've probably easily raised around about the £800 mark for the Epilepsy Society. That's where all my money goes, is the Epilepsy Society. Over the next kind of few months, I do plan on making this faster. I mean, it only goes probably about 5 miles an hour at this moment in time. I am planning on changing that quite dramatically, so it will definitely be different in a few months' time. It will definitely be a lot quicker as well. I do still plan to take it to shows, raise money where I can, do different events, etc. In the near future, I will be setting up a fundraising page so you can donate towards, obviously, the Epilepsy Society. So it'll have my story on there, pictures of the Jeep, etc., and you know what's happened to me. All the money will go straight to them. So all the money that they raise will be going to medicines, research, and even surgeries. There's a lot, obviously, loads of people do suffer with epilepsy, more than people think. It is a very common thing. So that will go into more research and medicines, and it really does help. Even, you know, £1, it really does help. If you go on Facebook, we have a Facebook page, the Epileptic Jeep, and that's where I post about everything that's happened to me, any advice I can give, any questions I can answer. So if anyone does have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll answer them as best as I can, and I try and help everyone where I can, really. I made a big Facebook video about it, answering people's questions, etc., as best as I can. So I try and raise awareness and make people aware of what happens to us and how they can help if anything does happen, and get awareness out that way as well. So yeah.
No, that way, that way, that way. Come on, no.
I my seat's come off. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Seat's come off.
Oh dear.
And that does it.